All right, welcome to our final episode of Schroeder Good News. Mr. Peck, how you doing?
Great, man. We made it 10 episodes. That's two more than that bum John Krasinski, I'll have you know.
Aw, he's not a bum. He's the one that gave us this idea.
Yeah, well, he didn't give it to us. We took the idea from him.
Well, yeah, okay, so
Any day now, we could be getting a certified letter from, some good news or something.
that is very, very much true. So
I hope we don't.
We have a wonderful, wonderful show store. We're going to start this again. Show in store for everybody today. We have a lot of guests, teacher guests, and we're hoping to send the Webster Schroeder School off for the summer, feeling good. That's kind of been the purpose of these episodes, and I've had an
star-studded show today.
So thank you so much for everybody who's been able to watch. Thank you, Mr. Peck, for doing this. And hopefully people who've watched it have enjoyed it as well. All right.
Thank you to the WTA and Mr. Gamina for getting us the upgraded version of StreamYard so we could do our show.
Very much so.
Thank our sponsors,
The first talk for a second, Mr. Peck, while I bring up this video I need.
Just talk for a second. I think today's show is going to be so good that 13 Wham might even tweet about it. They might send out a tweet that said, "Hey, look at what Webster Schroeder did today."
So our plan, all right, for today. Too much.
No comment on that, Mr. Eckler.
I'm going to pass. For now.
Well, then I will give it up. I will take this moment to say a big thanks to Mrs. McCann, Mr. Eckler, Mr. Sepka, Mr. Benz. Ms. Woodward, Ms. Metz-Miller, all the administrators that were involved in planning the Schroeder Senior Parade on Friday, universally has been seen as one of the best things that I think we've ever done in our school. It's a really cool event. It's awesome that you guys were able to make the best of an unfortunate situation for a really special group of kids. I know that it was a lot of work organizing all that and putting all that stuff together. I would have worn my senior skip day champion shirt today, but I wore it yesterday for my last Zoom classes. So thank you for the free shirt too. It was a great event.
Welcome.
Loved it. Well done, sir.
You're welcome. And I want to thank all the seniors and their parents for making sure that they could take time out of their day to come and help celebrate that day. It definitely was one of the best things that we've ever done. And I was very much happy to be part of it. So thanks for those kind words. Hopefully we have Ms. McCann joining us here in a few minutes too as well.
Will she show up late like the other members of the foreign language department?
First, we put this out to kind of like the staff, and you guys may know, Miss Miller is a valued member of our staff, and I know she wanted to do this, but she is off because she's such a workaholic and values her job grading AP exams, and so she wanted to send a send-off. So she took the time to record something to say a few words to everybody, and I'm going to play that for everyone right now. So hopefully everything works here with audio and good stuff. So here is Miss Miller.
Hey, Schroeder students, Sage Miller here, in case you don't know me. Mr. Eckler was kind enough to let me pre-record a video since I can't be at the live production today. And I just wanted to send out a message to you to remind you that life is active, not passive. So whatever you are doing at any given time in your life, remember to fully engage in it. Have a great summer, and in September, be ready to engage in whatever you are doing, whether it's back at Schroeder at school, whether it's distance learning for Schroeder, whether it's your new start in college or your new start in the workforce. Have a great summer.
Yay! Thank you, Miller, for that one.
I didn't mean to chuckle in the middle of that, but Mr. Kennedy just sent me a funny text right during the middle of that.
He's doing the same thing to me.
Now we can do, how like on Twitter they're doing the things that lasted longer than the Confederacy. We could do it with our show and things that shows that we lasted longer than. And apparently we lasted longer than the Chevy Chase late night talk show. So kudos to us.
Do you think people watching have ever seen the Chevy Chase late night variety talk show?
Good thing Mr. Kennedy's on later to talk about it, because I think it ran for like 3 episodes, maybe 4.
He can officially clear the air for that. I see him backstage, and we're gonna get to him in just a second. But
he's got the whole box set at home.
Jumping the gun, I'm gonna actually bring in our next guest because she's in there waiting, and I see her, and we know her very well. Everyone say hello to the very, very lovely Miss.
Are you sick of my face?
Okay.
I think I have somehow, like,
your face.
I have Zoomed or met with Kim, I think, every week. School
And you loved it.
I know, it's
You're
great.
giggling just as much as you were. Oh, this is what happens when we're live.
Miss Gebhardt, we all know that you have good news. Could you give us an update on your good news?
Well, the update on my good news is I'm having a baby, hopefully in July. If you guys didn't know that, we still don't know if it's a boy or girl. We also still don't know the name, so I'm still taking any name suggestions.
Let's do that right now.
Jeff.
If it's a boy, you should either name it Alex Jeffrey or Jeffrey Alex, I think.
It was on my end of the year survey for my kids, so we did have some suggestions.
Avery says Chaplin is a great name too.
I've always loved the name like Ace. You know, like you got like I think that would be Ace.
How about George Costanza's favorite name, Seven Gebhardt?
So I just wanted to say bye to everyone. And I was thinking when I got Mr. Eckler's text today, I was on my second dog walk of the day because when in quarantine. I was thinking about how it's very ironic that this is the class of 2020 because, and as the yearbook said, hindsight's 2020. And I was thinking to myself, I hope that when you guys are graduating, you look back and you say, what did I learn from this experience? Because hindsight is 2020. And I know I've learned a lot from being in this house for so long. And I hope that you guys have as well. So congratulations, everyone. I live right next door to an elementary. And I believe since it was 3:00, there's like horns going off everywhere, dogs barking. So it's pretty chaotic over here.
Yeah, Mr. Kennedy, who's backstage and is a big fan of the show, wants us to tell you to have Mr. Gebhardt stop barking in the background.
I think Mr. Gebhardt would say that I'm actually the one that's been barking at him with all of these to-do lists I've been having. Yeah, but thank you. Yes.
You are officially in the home stretch, and as somebody that has experienced that, it's not me personally, but having my wife, I can speak to that. It's a wonderful experience. You are going to make an outstanding mother, Ms. Gebhardt. You guys are going to make outstanding parents, and we couldn't be happier for you. So
thank you. Thanks, guys.
We hope everything works out. Everybody's healthy, and everybody
we'll still see you at Link Crew training day and
yes.
You won't. Yes, I'm not going anywhere. Don't worry. Well, those are like the famous last words, right?
Yeah, exactly. Now you finished yourself.
Don't worry, Pack. I have you in the back of my head all the time.
Okay. We all think that we're probably going to work for you someday, so we have to always constantly be nice based in the district. So we know that's not too far down the road there.
Around me.
Kim and I were hired the same year. I mean, what a recruiting class they had here for Schroeder.
Right. All right, guys. Well, thank you.
No, you're not going anywhere because I want to.
I'm not going anywhere.
Well, I don't want you to go anywhere because I want to bring our next guest on because she just popped into the background and she is my co-advisor of the class of 2020, and I know that she might want to also maybe speak to you as well. So, McCann.
Hello.
What's up?
Hey, Frau McCann.
Yeah. How are you?
I feel like
everybody's. I should be on my porch. Like I feel left out here. You guys are outside.
We're outside.
There's Hey, invite me over.
You fancy.
We got the dog.
Oh my goodness.
Everybody.
Yeah, I tried to have Matilda in here with me, but she wanted no part of it.
Oh no.
Clearly mine didn't either. So,
Kimmy, how you doing?
Good. All is well.
You ready?
I hope it's sooner than later.
What is your official due date, Kim?
Not till July 25th.
July 20th.
So right around graduation.
It's exactly graduation, actually. So if I'm at graduation, we got issues.
That graduation just got all really more exciting. We could actually, Mr. Peck could be on the stage.
Yeah, I know.
At Frontier Field, and we might get a text message that says that Miss Gebhardt is going to labor, and we could announce it like over the PA. Like this could
We
be
can announce it over the
I'm
PA.
definitely not. I will definitely make sure I do not say anything now on July 25th.
Oh, I've got my ways.
He can help deliver the baby. If Barilla's there, we know he's for that, so it'll be great.
Oh my God.
Oh, that would be great if we had Miss Gebhardt. All right, we'll let you go there, Miss Gebhardt.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know what to tell you here. She's
You are
Enjoy.
But thank you guys.
It's madness at the Gebhardt household.
Have a
Yeah,
wonderful
so
summer.
many intruders here.
Have
See
a
you,
wonderful
Prank
summer,
Party.
and we're gonna take baby name suggestions from
Yes.
everybody. So if you
Yes.
tune in-
Leave it in the chat.
All right.
Wait, you don't know what you're having, right?
No, boy or girl,
Okay.
or gender neutral, or we don't. Yeah, whatever.
I love it.
Bye,
All right,
guys.
go take care of that dog.
Thanks.
Have a great summer.
We
Whoops.
just kick McCann out.
Yeah,
You can. No.
just like that. All
So,
right.
while I
I'm
have
also-
you guys on here, I have a great idea for graduation. Can I run it by you guys? Because I think it's a great idea.
Yes.
Certainly can.
But as we know, I typically need adults to run my ideas by because I have like the mind of a 7-year-old. So here's my idea. Instead of the traditional graduation photo where they like get their diploma, they shake Mr. Benz's hand, they go stand in front of the American flag, right? Like we know that's the standard. I think we gotta really embrace the potential plan and have them get a picture with Spikes and Mitzi afterwards. Thoughts?
Oh, that's a good idea.
Thank you. I thought
Sure.
it was. Yeah,
I think it's
all
a great idea. Breaking news.
doesn't like
I need a
Spike
breaking
and-
news thing.
right. Beep 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 beep.
All right. Miss McCann, I'm going to give you this opportunity. If there is something that you would like to say to all of our students, including the class of 2020, we've been trying to make sure that everybody had the opportunity to speak. And so I will give you the platform if you would like to well wish everybody who might be tuning in.
I will. I guess I'm going to say, most of all, I think I'm proud of everybody because you pulled through. You did it. You made it. And it was hard, and you should feel good about yourself. And I think it's awesome. And congratulations. This is not the end. There's so much more fun things that are coming your way in the future. You'll be the class we always remember, right? Our Corona class. So that's another, you have that legacy, with you. So, hey, enjoy your summer, enjoy your future, and please come back and visit us because we do miss you, and we love when you come back and say hi or just pop us a line and let us know what you're up to. If you want to get together, we love that too, right? So let's keep in touch, and congratulations, and it's well deserved, and you made it. You did it.
And my second question is, what do you think that Miss Gebhardt should name her baby?
Oh my goodness.
I
That's
mean, my personal favorite was Alex Jeffrey. That's what I went with.
We have Humphrey as a suggestion, and
oh
then
good God.
we have another one that's Chaplin, and I want you. I guess you probably don't know who suggested that one.
Yeah. I think you have to be careful, and you don't discuss the name with anyone because there's poo-pooers on your name. So if you bring something up, someone will ruin it for you. So it's best to I think to keep it secret.
What's a great German name that she could choose from?
Oh, how about Fritz, right?
Fritz.
Yeah, okay.
Bring
Fritz
Fritz
is good
back.
one.
That's kind of cool, right?
Fritz. I think Fritz is like gender neutral. It works both ways, right?
Nah, I don't know about that.
Putting on the Fritz? Is that like a...
Or a good old Greta. Greta's a nice, German
Greta
name.
Gebhardt. There we go. Now we have some.
Greta Gebhardt, GG.
That's so cute. And then you could call her Gigi for short. Greta
Gigi.
Gebhardt.
I think we figured it out.
Oh, we got
Mr. Gomez,
something
what do you
there.
think about those baby names, now that I got you in here?
The alliteration is flawless. I'm a big Greta fan. If it happens to be a male, I'm thinking Hans, though.
Or Gustav. Then we could still have.
Hans, that's like a bad guy in a Die Hard movie.
I do
Albert
hear that.
Gebhardt.
Yeah, gender neutral is like a big thing now. Like it could either you pick a name and it could be a boy or a girl. I think that's kind of cool too.
Frau,
My,
thank you so
my
much for
fiance.
joining us here on the Schroeder Good News Show. You look so comfortable. Thanks for having those fine words for the class of 2020.
Wow, great work on Friday.
Oh, it was so much fun. It was so much fun. And yeah, it was great. Gomez, you were awesome on the Twitter. Lots of pictures. I loved it. That was awesome.
Thank
It was
you.
really good A team coming together. We're doing great
It
stuff
was.
with Webster Schroeder. People
Yes,
got
thank
on
you
board.
so much.
All right.
Bye,
Bye
Frau.
now. We'll talk to you
Bye.
soon. See you.
Yeah.
All right. So I didn't have a chance to introduce the guy who always seems to come on our show shirtless, or at least sleeveless, and that's due to the fact that the Webster School budget, which we hope passes slightly today, can make sure this man can get some sleeves on his shirts. But Mr. Gomez, how are you?
Hey boys, how we doing? Good to see you guys. Thanks for putting this together. Thanks for all you guys have been doing during quarantine. You guys have been raising spirits, making everyone tune in, get together. It's been nice to have kind of something of structure for these kids and for faculty. I hear it from faculty probably even more than the students, that they love seeing your guys' faces and seeing everyone come together. So thank you.
All right. Well, we appreciate that as more as anything, and this is a celebratory time, and we'd like to give you the opportunity to say what you feel is necessary to the students that are even coming back, and of course the class of 2020 seniors.
All right. First of all, I appreciate you giving me the platform to do this. I have a little cheat sheet here, okay, on my computer, so bear with me. So I was thinking about like how do I even approach this? It's a pretty big task. There's so much to say, but it's also tough to come up with something to say that's original because they've like heard it all now at this point of like, you're going to go on to do great things and all this stuff. So here we go. I'm going to do my best. I have 3 different minor micro sections.
Would you like
Section
the entire
1.
screen?
No, it's fine. I'm good.
Okay.
You guys are like my little cheerleaders. I need to see you.
Yeah. Go, Gomez, go. Go,
Okay,
Gomez,
so,
go.
So section 1, class of 2020. Section 1 is perspective tilt. Okay. It's so easy as a senior in 2020 to be so angry and frustrated and want to like put that on something and be like, we got cheated, we got robbed, we lost prom, we lost our spring season, we lost our final concert, we lost all this, right? That's a pretty lousy way of approaching life. And as warriors, you should know better. Okay. Like no one's disagreeing that you got robbed of those things, but just acting like that is lousy. So the perspective tilt that I want to kind of tell you guys to do is think about all the things you've gained. I'm right now, I'm celebrating my 10-year anniversary of graduating from Schroeder. So it's a very unique thing for me as well. 10 years ago, I didn't get a senior parade. Okay. Think about that. You guys gained a really unique event and experience that you guys are going to remember forever. All the Zoom meetings, I think a lot of those are probably a lot more unique and just overall and more enriching than a classroom experience because it's so different. So instead of all these things that you lost, think about all the new experiences that you gained out of this. It's a really empowering moment. And you guys are too close to it right now. You're too in the moment to really see it. But in hindsight, you guys are our class of 2020 perfect vision or whatever. If you have foresight to see ahead, then you will realize in hindsight, this was such a crazy and unique time. And it really was awesome, despite all the other negativity with it. So I just want you guys to have that perspective tilt. Think about all the stuff that you gained. Okay, that was number 1. Section 2, with legends like Mr. Kennedy and Mr. Peck and Mr. Eckler and everything. I think one of the best teachers this spring was the pandemic itself. And so I want you guys to realize how much you've learned, probably subtly, right? Not these big learning moments, not these tests, but these moments that you've learned: resiliency, adaptability, flexibility, determination, collaboration, communication, all these really, really powerful life skills that honestly, like teachers really struggle to actually teach you outside of content because they're kind of the unteachables. You kind of just need to like learn them on your own, like the sink or swim method. So you guys, out of any other class, like in the history of education, American modernized education systems, are now entering the workforce or college, probably 10 tiers above everyone else. You guys have so much skill now and so much raw knowledge and experience and exposure to resources. So you guys are going to go and rock it. You're going to kill it out there. Absolutely guaranteed. I'm just confident that you guys are going to succeed. My final section is actually
It's a manifesto. I love it.
No.
It's not for the class of 2020 because they already know I love them to death. They already saw me on the corner at the parade taking selfies with them. They already know what it is, okay? They know me. They know my relationship with them. And they know they're going to do awesome. My final section is for everyone else who's still going to be a student at Webster Schroeder next year. My thing is, I challenge you. How are you going to pick up the pieces? How are you going to rebuild? How are you going to get us back to normal? That's tough. That's a bigger task probably than being a senior during the pandemic. You have to pick up the pieces and somehow make us a family again. And that's going to be really tough. But I know that we're going to be able to outcome and rise up and be even better when we're back in school and we're together again. And I know every other grade level below those seniors is ready to do it and make a name for themselves and leave a legacy that's just as powerful as those seniors. And that is the Gomez Manifesto, baby.
Jeez.
If I had
Yeah,
like,
well, and now the show's
mic
over. We're
drop.
canceling the
Great,
rest
yeah,
of it.
like we had this big finale planned here, Mr. Gomez, and stole our thunder.
Not only like as somebody giving a commencement address this year, like first off, I have like the president's already given 2 in prime time. I have every celebrity like on the planet giving commencement speeches to the class of 2020. Then I got my main man Gomez out here just dropping a great one. It's funny because I know, yeah, I know. It's funny because I saw Ms. Ham in school like last week, and I was like, oh yeah, I'm doing the commencement speech, and she congratulated me and everything. And then she's like, well, good luck trying to say something original. I was like, awesome. And then you mentioned like the same thing. So it's like, oh my God, what do I do?
All right.
It's tough, man. It's tough.
Mr. Gomez, thank you for those fine.
You're the man, Gomez.
I'm going to bring on our next guest, who is a beloved counselor at Webster Schroeder. And he's one of our near and dear closest friends. And I know he has a great idea for Miss Gebhardt's baby name. So,
is it Mr. Lambert?
How are you?
Oh, it's Mr. Brilla.
You're trying to guess what?
Jimmy,
how are you, Mr. Brilla?
Hey, good to see everybody. I don't have any creative names right now. I'm blanking on that front.
You know what? What about Jimothy?
I could go with Jimothy, but
that's the formal version of Jim.
That is. Xavier's near and dear to my heart, so I would throw that out there for a male.
That's not a bad idea. No.
And he's the one that I practically delivered to, so good luck with that.
Would you like to share that
graduation? Like if you're at graduation, she'll be fine.
Yeah, I've got the experience. I can push along the EMTs and take care of everything.
Yeah. For those of you guys that don't know, Mr. Brilla did help deliver one of his children, so that was always an exciting time, right?
And I'm very thankful to 911 operator who helped me through that.
That is easily one of the most bonkers stories I've heard in like my 7 years at Webster Schroeder.
Yeah,
and I will say
in the nonchalant way that you tell that story.
Yes, Mr. Brilla's temperament for that story is like most people would have been panicking, and he was like, "Well, I did this and did that, and there it is. It was great." And you're like, "What?"
Both my kids.
Now I'm driving the bus.
Mr. Gomez, have a wonderful summer. All right, congrats on your 10-year anniversary. Thanks so much for joining us several occasions on this show.
Yeah, of course, guys. Thank you so much. Class of 2020, forever. I love you guys. Be well.
And now, Mr. Brilla, the floor is yours to follow that act, to say something nice to to the class of 2020.
Every guest has to say something to the previous guest now.
Yeah, that's certainly a tough act to follow. I don't have 3 different steps. Mine's a quick and easy. First of all, just to the class of 2020, you are going to be missed. Congratulations on, showing some pretty true grit, perseverance, and some dedication to get through this strange time. If anything, that crystallizes to me just how successful you are going to be moving forward because you got through this. And not only that, but you're taking with you some great legends of Webster Schroeder with you, between Mrs. Hannafin, Mr. Enck, Mr. Kennedy, Mr. Brinka. Hopefully I'm not leaving anybody out, but
Mr. Levy.
Mr. Levy,
yes, thank you. And yes, and good luck, and gonna miss you, and have a great summer.
Thank you, Mr. Brilla. We will see you, I'm sure, several times, hopefully over the summer. And
It would have been great, Mr. Brill, if you said, please check Naviance for my farewell to the class.
I did think of that one, but I thought I'd keep it simple. All right, thank you. Thanks for having me on, guys. Appreciate
Thanks so much.
For all you've done today.
Take care of the family.
All right, see you guys soon.
See you, Mr. Brill.
All right, and that officially, my friends, is going to bring us to our final segment. I have our guests in waiting, all but one. And so, Mr. Peck, what I'm going to say is, if you could, I have to pull up the. You
have to pull up the statement you have to read.
Yes.
Yeah.
And as I'm doing that, if you could tell everybody what we're going to do here, and hopefully,
of course.
I'm excited.
So obviously, after 10 episodes, Mr. Eckler and I were thinking, how do we end this? How do we put a nice little bow on hopefully season 1 of Schroeder Good News? Who knows if we'll be back, but I think we will. And one of the things that and I know probably a lot of other teachers do it too, but one of the things that I have done since my first year of teaching, all the way back at little old Bolivar Richburg, was the last day of school. I always read Dr. Seuss's "Oh, the Places You'll Go." I believe the last book that he wrote before he passed away. And obviously it's a timeless classic for people of all ages, and especially for those of you, it's great advice for the class of 2020 as they embark on the next chapter of their life. So what we wanted to do is bring some of our favorite Schroeder peeps on here to sort of do a group reading of this classic and send the class of 2020, send Schroeder Good News out on the highest point we possibly could.
So I'm going to introduce them one at a time, and then I'm going to pull the screen up so that they can read their part. Before I read the actual "Oh, the Places You Go" book, the powers that be have instructed us to make sure that we say that we have filled out the Penguin Random House Storytime Permissions form on your behalf. And this book is now read with the permission from Penguin Random House. I think that's all I was really supposed to say.
Yeah, I think so.
The permission of Penguin Random House to read "Oh, the Places You Go." And thank you so much, Mrs. Strike, for making sure that we are.
I was going to say thank you, Mrs. Straggy, for this. I actually texted her and I was like, how can we make this happen for our show? And she used her magical library powers to make it happen for us. So thank you very much, Mrs. Straggy.
Joining us on the show, all right, and I think I'm going to bring everybody on together so we can introduce them because they'll all fit. First, we have our beloved English teacher, Mrs. Woodward. How are you, Miss Woodward?
Hi, Miss Woodward.
Hey, doing great. Excited to be reading this. Hope I don't trip over any words.
One of our famous global teachers and also friend of everybody in the building who helps so much with so many students. Mr. Fabry, how are you?
I am great. Welcome. Very happy to be here. Awesome.
All right. One of our famous science teacher, and I think she was on our very first episode. So kudos to making the first episode.
The lost mystery episode.
Miss Metz Miller, how are you?
Hi.
And finally, another famed English teacher that we have in the building, who I know has been quarantined up in her home. Miss Law, how are you?
Hello. Great. How are you?
I know Mrs. Law is
everybody
a
ready
big
with their
fan
part
and supporter of the show.
I am.
Yes. I have to ask all of you if we're all ready for our parts.
I am.
Ready.
I'm ready.
Okay. All right. Now, Mr. Peck.
Yeah.
You're up.
I'm not up first.
Who's on first?
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm up first, dude.
What a great start.
Yeah.
Miss Metz Miller is up first.
We'll edit that out. It's fine.
I can't edit out. It's a live show.
Oh man, that's awesome.
I have so much more respect for producers now. I'm not a first. That was what would happen in our classes, where you are talking about the kids, and then you say, "Who's up?" and the kid's like, "It's not me." All right, let's try this again. Reading "Oh, the Places You Go" from the bottom of our hearts to yours, to the Webster Schroeder student body. Starting off, Miss Metz Miller, everybody.
Are you putting it on the screen?
No, we decided that was going to look bad. Is it you have it or no?
Yeah, I got it. Okay.
Congratulations, today is your day. You're off to great places, you're off and away. You'll have brains in your head, you'll have feet in your shoes. You can steer yourself any direction you choose. You're on your own and you know what you know, and you are the guy who will decide where to go. You'll look up and down the streets, look them over with care, and some will say, I don't choose to go there. With your head full of brains and your shoes full of feet, you're too smart to go down any not so good street. And you may not find any you'll want to go down. In that case, of course, you'll head straight out of town. It's opener there in the wide open air. Out there, things can happen and frequently do to people as brainy and footsy as you.
And when things start to happen, don't worry, don't stew. Just go right along, you'll start happening too. Oh, the places you'll go. You'll be on your way up, you'll be seeing great sights. You'll join the high flyers who soar to high heights. You won't lag behind because you'll have the speed. You'll pass the whole gang and soon you'll take the lead. Wherever you fly, you'll be the best of the best. Wherever you go, you will top all the rest. Except when you don't, because sometimes you won't. I'm sorry to say so, but sadly, it's true. That bang-ups and hang-ups can happen to you. You can get all hung up in a prickly perch, and your gang will fly on, and you'll be left in a lurch. You'll come down from the lurch with an unpleasant bump, and the chances are then that you'll be in a slump.
And when you're in a slump, you're not in for much fun. Unslumping yourself is not easily done. You will come to a place where the streets are not marked. Some windows are lighted, but mostly they're dark. A place you could sprain both your elbow and chin. How dare to stay out? How you dare to go in? How much can you lose? How much can you win? And if you go in, should you turn left or right? Or right and 3/4? Or maybe not quite? Or go around back and sneak in from behind? Simple it's not. I'm afraid you will find from a mind maker upper to make up his mind. You can get so confused that you'll start into race down long wiggled roads at a breaking neck pace and grind on for miles across weirdish wild space, headed, I fear, toward a most useless place, the waiting place for people just waiting, waiting for a train to go, or a bus to come, or a plane to go, or the mail to come, or the rain to go, or the phone to ring, or the snow to snow, or waiting around for a yes or a no, or waiting for their hair to grow. Everyone is just waiting. Waiting for the fish to bite, or waiting for wind to fly a kite, or waiting around for Friday night, or waiting perhaps for their Uncle Jake, or a pot to boil, or a better break, or a string of pearls, or a pair of pants, or a wig with curls, or another chance. Everyone is just waiting. No, it's not for you. Somehow you'll escape all that waiting and staying. You'll find the bright places where boom bands are playing.
Stepping. Once more you'll ride high, ready for anything under the sky. Ready because you're that kind of guy. Oh, the places you'll go, there's fun to be done, and there are points to be scored, there are games to be won. And the magical things you can do with that ball will make you the winningest winner of all. Fame. You'll be as famous can be, with the whole wide world watching you win on TV. Except when they don't, because sometimes they won't. I'm afraid that sometimes you'll play lonely games too. Games you can't win because you'll play against you. All alone, whether you like it or not. Alone will be something, you'll be quite a lot.
I got the actual book here. And when you're alone, there's a very good chance you'll meet things that scare you right out of your pants. There are some down the road between hither and yon that can scare you so much you won't want to go on. But on you will go, though the weather be foul, and on you will go, though your enemies prowl, and on you will go through the hack and cracks howl, onward up many a frightening creek, though your arms may get sore and your sneakers may leak. On and on you will hike, and I know you'll hike far and face up to your problems, whatever they are. You'll get mixed up, of course, as you already know. You'll get mixed up with many strange birds as you go. So be sure when you step with care and great tact. Remember that life's a great balancing act. Just never forget to be dexterous and never mix up your right foot with your left. And will you succeed? Yes, you will indeed. 98.75% guaranteed. Kids, you'll move mountains. So be your name Buxbaum or Bixby or Bray or Mordecai Alley Van Allen O'Shea. You're off to great places. Today is your day. Your mountain is waiting. So get on your way. The end.
Yay! Absolutely outstanding, wonderful read. That's always a great way to end the school year. Before we go, and before we bring on our final guest for a big send off, I'd just like to give Miss Woodward, starting with you. Is there anything you'd like to say to the students in class of 2020?
Just want to wish everybody the best. Good luck to you. And may the roads that you're traveling down have very few potholes in them.
Miss
Unlike
Law?
Rochester.
Just congratulations, and whatever you learn and whenever you learn it, make sure you come back and share and or teach it with us.
Miss Metz-Miller?
Just the best of luck, and we'll miss you next year.
And Mr. Fabry?
Just as you move forward, do your best and do good.
Thanks, guys, so much. Hang out backstage for me for a little bit, if you wouldn't mind. All right, and
I think we set a record for guests today. It's been great. We've had
it's been absolutely wonderful. I think that was an amazing idea. So, seeing that he is retiring this year, we've had him on our most popular show, which I think was episode 3 or 4. He also, as he has volunteered for his entire career to always seemingly do everything that wasn't related even to academics, whether it was Sunburn softball or events, or he hosted, I don't know, countless rallies back in the day. He was always willing to get on the microphone when anybody ever needed him. And so I wanted to make sure we brought him back on to kind of end our round out episode. Mr. Kennedy, how are you, sir?
We're doing fine, thank you. And Peck came up with 3 brilliant ideas for the Gebhardt baby. Bixby, Butler, or Bray. There we go. That's it. Can't you say, I could be a lacrosse player, so on the back of the jersey, just Bix. You always got to name a kid based on the nickname, not just the regular name.
That is a great point. Bixby would be great. Be a great Lax Pro.
Absolutely outstanding name. We're going to have to make sure that we pass that on. The other ones that came through in the comments, if anybody wants to know what they were, was we have Baby Humphrey, Leopold, Gilbert, Orville. I think people was having fun with some of those.
My favorite Jackson was Jermaine. I thought Jermaine Gebhardt, because then it'd be Jade Gab. Good nicknames there.
Mr. Kennedy, I'm going to give you the floor for you to give a nice send-off, if you will.
Thank you. One of the things that keeps coming up to me over the last few weeks as friends have said, hey, you're retiring. That must be so awkward. Or some of the staff and even some wonderful students have said, geez, sorry, in this awkward stage. I just had a friend come over and give me a card, and the very first word was awkward. And you know something? Life is awkward. I think a lot of you have already figured that out, but every morning I look in the mirror, that's awkward. This show with Mr. Peck and Mr. Eckler, it's kind of awkward, but at least they're having fun with it. You know what? First dates are really awkward. Job interviews are awkward. Interacting with a stranger, someone that maybe is making you feel awkward, race relations are awkward. You're supposed to learn to deal with that. And that's one of the best gifts maybe this entire awkward 3 months can present. You've kind of become professionals in awkward from joining Zoom meetings where I know I'm only seeing the top of your head and what's on your ceiling, and assignments that just don't have the interactions you were used to for your whole college or your whole high school careers. So I hope that in a way you can embrace the awkward and realize that you've got a lot more awkward moments ahead, and that's fine, because that's who you end up, basically learning who you are, who your best friends are. And it's how you embrace newness and how you embrace equity and how you embrace tolerance. And to get a science word in there, how you embrace equilibrium in your life. So I hope you can find your ability to be comfortable with awkwardness, find your awkwardness, and turn it into something great. You deserve it. Oh, this is sparkling white wine. It's not illegal. We'll give it a little shake first. And to the class of 2020, we'll pour you a big glass because there's a lot of you out there. And to me, and to everyone else who's going to join, hey, students, you've done really well for 12 plus years educationally. Good luck in all that you're going to do. Cheers.
I have a
Thank you, Mr. Kennedy.
That was a wonderful thing. Miss Favorite, you can never hear my
time to lend a hand. Greatest gift of all.
really good at it.
Oh man.
I'm only going to
none of the words to this song.
We are part of God's great big family.
Turner, that's big.
All right.
So awkward.
Here we go.
We are the
Children.
Who's in charge of the sound?
Oh, that's about all before we get our copyright violations in or whatever it is.
Oh man.
I couldn't have been better, Mr. Peck, Mr. Kennedy. I have to get Miss Metz on here one more time, so I'm going to boot out Peck to just say bye to Miss Metz. Goodbye, everybody. Have a wonderful, wonderful summer. Thanks to everybody who's watching. You know that we'll be back.
Thanks for doing that.
Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Well done,
Cheers.
everybody.
Oh good.
Yeah, I made sure I got you back there.
Oh good. I was like, this would be weird if we ended the last show on the screen.
I want to talk to the stream people. We need like 2 more slots. That's all we need, right? Eight would be good.
Oh man. I'm so happy that the last 5 minutes of this show is me having an absolute giggle fit. So that is pretty much, I could not have
All right, okay. Listen, this was so much fun. I cannot believe that we get paid to do this.
No, it's insane. I wake up every day and can't imagine that.
You and I joke all the time about how lucky we are to be teachers.
Mhm.
There's stuff like this that we end up doing and laugh because we're getting paid. Quite everybody's lives, and I want to thank all of our guests for the last 3 or 4 weeks we've been doing this. Hopefully we can do many more. Go make some memories over the summer, and thanks for watching.
Yes, thank you, class of 2020. Thank you, Schroeder. It's been a great 10 weeks, and there's no place like Webster Schroeder.